I mean, because graphics to me in a game are important and all, but I would rather have good gameplay than good graphics.
Right.
And there were just some brilliant games on Super Nintendo. And the graphics are acceptable enough that it doesn't look like totally like, Minecraft.
Right. Well, Minecraft's alright.
No, I mean, well, Minecraft leaves a lot to imagination, and there's something to be said for that, too.
Yeah.
Oh, we are mulliganing. This is ridiculous.
Alright, so yeah. For those of you confused because we didn't do an intro, I'm Chauncey J. Kent.
And I'm Steve Massey.
And we will be your host tonight for whatever we're going to call this segment in the future.
It's true. So our goal here is to just play some Magic and have a good time. Discuss a little bit of strategy on the way. We'll probably be doing some face-to-face across-the-table games in the future that we'll be recording as well. That will serve as instructional videos on how to play Magic, and we'll just hit on some basic strategy on Magic Online, and in general discuss the games as we're going. So we'll be providing our own play-by-plays, which should make it really weird for us because we'll be giving away information to our opponents, but whatever. All right, we're mulliganing, and that is even worse.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, well, I'm not mulliganing to 3, so we're going to keep.
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, the first thing I'd like to mention is that I did go ahead and take a look at the terms of use. And in the very second paragraph, it does give permission to record using the online software. So if any of you guys are wanting to do something like this or just want to record a game with your friends for fun or whatever, you can totally do that. It's in the terms of use. It's cool. Second paragraph down.
Nice. It's good to know that we're not doing anything illegal.
Yes, it is. Always
look at Chauncey playing a land on his first turn. This never happens.
Well, if you don't have land in your opening hand, you should probably mulligan.
Probably. Although you've been known to not play land on your opening hand.
I have, yes. I blame that mostly on fatigue.
Also, of course, learning the Magic Online interface is a little bit different than playing with paper cards. So
it is a little bit. You've got to make sure you don't accidentally click OK or you miss attacks and.
Yeah, because weirdly enough, Magic doesn't allow you to back up at all. Or at least the online doesn't allow you to back up at all. Oh, an Omen speaker.
Yep, I've got the Omen speaker out.
Spray too. That's just what I want you to do.
Yeah, and basically that ability lets me look at the top 2 cards in my deck and decide if I want to rearrange their order, put some on the bottom, put them on the top.
That's right.
And
it smooths out draw. It's actually a pretty powerful mechanic when done correctly.
It is. If you have a lot of it in your deck, you can pretty much make your deck flow really well all the time.
And it really doesn't matter what your initial draw is. I mean, that's pretty powerful stuff there. All right.
Okay.
All right. Very good.
Oh, another swamp.
Yes, it's exciting.
Ah, not the bubbling cauldron.
By the way, I'm playing what's called an Orzhov deck. Orzhov just means I'm playing black-white. So that's one of the terms you'll hear a lot that Magic players say. They'll say they're playing Orzhov, but it just means they're playing white-black in their deck.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from the Ravnica sets. There was a guild called Orzhov that is the color combination of black and white. So that's where that term comes from.
Yeah, and you'll hear a lot of that. And as we come up with the different color combinations, we'll mention what each of the terms
if I can get Chauncey to play anything other than mono blue,
I will absolutely. I'll throw in some Simic and some Dimir and all that. That's going to be a mix of blue-green and blue-black, respectively.
Yep. All right.
And of course, since we're doing commentary, we've reset this time limit to 60 minutes because 25 just is not enough.
Right. I played a match earlier, and you can play 3 games in 25 minutes, but that's not going to happen when you're yakking. So that's what we're yakking.
Absolutely.
And by yakking, I mean talking, not throwing up. Oh, Phantom Warrior can't be blocked by the creatures I don't have on the table.
That's correct.
All right, that's fine. You can have it. And here's where I take a point of damage.
All right.
For the record, the last game that we tried to play, I won with 125 life with this deck. So, yeah. I'm not sure how that happened, but we were playing for over an hour. Magic is not supposed to take an hour to play.
Not in its traditional sense, no. Now, I did make a small tweak to the deck, and you're noticing that right now with the Phantom Warrior. You had
him before.
I had him before, and I took him out and put in a different strategy card, which I then took out because it just doesn't have the attack power.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, Phantom Warrior is not super strong, but he goes through.
Made the deck a little bit more aggro-y.
Yeah.
Aggro, by the way, is short for aggravation or aggressive. Not aggravation, what am I thinking?
Aggravating for people playing against it.
Right. But aggro is designed to kill your opponent within like 3 or 4. I mean, it's supposed to be pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
My deck would be aggro if I actually had black cards in my hand right now, and I don't, which is why I don't have anything on the table. So I'm a little bit what we call mana screwed right now, which means either you don't have any lands available or
all you have is
you've got the wrong lands in play. So there you go. If I ever draw a black creature, that's,
yes. There's also the possibility of being reverse mana screwed, in which case you have only lands and nothing else.
Also known as mana flooded.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
At any rate.
All right, so I'm going to click OK here.
Good option.
Ready?
All right.
Oh.
What's up?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, apart from thinking that it was my turn for some weird reason. Oh, another one.
Another one, yes.
That's exciting. It resolves.
Excellent. Don't worry, Massey. I'm sure you'll be killing these guys with Doomblade soon enough.
Uh-huh. Because Lord knows I got plenty of black mana for it. Look at that.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome.
The 1-1 play. It's a 20-turn clock, let me just tell you. By the way, when somebody says that something is a clock, that means that you need to find an answer in it, or you're going to die within a certain number of turns. Typically, it means like when you put down something like Obstacle goes Council, which when it enters the battlefield does 2 damage, and then you gain 2 life. It's called putting a clock on the game. In other words, if you don't do something about it, you're going to be dead in a certain number of turns. I say that this is a 20-turn clock because it does a point of damage per turn. There's 20 life in this game, and I'm just being ridiculous, really.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we did mention the one deck strategy aggro earlier. There's actually a couple other primary strategies. You've got control, which is a lot of what I play. It's going to be a lot of instants, enchantments, sorceries, and creature abilities that are designed to lock down your opponent and make them hate you and your deck.
Counter spells and things like that. Yeah. Creature counters, removal spells, that kind of thing.
And of course, the other style is mill, which is actually designed to be more of a you try to beat them by getting rid of all of their cards in their deck.
And it's horrible. There is yet to be a mill deck that is really competitive. It works sometimes in casual play. I've been playing Magic off and on for 20 years. I've been milled out 1 time in 20 years.
Yeah, honestly, in the Gatecrash set, so the most recent, the Return to Ravnica block, the Dimir deck used a lot of the mill strategy, but it kind of combined it with the aggro strategy, where basically you were powering up your creatures by making your opponent throw away cards.
again, it's typically too slow for competitive play.
Right. If
The
just
other option is mid-range, which isn't aggro. It's not trying to kill you in 3 turns, but it's not control. In other words, it's not trying to keep your opponent from playing anything until you can get to your win condition. It is simply a deck that tries to kill you in a fair amount of time, but not super quick. It's called mid-range. All right, so I'm going to take a bunch of damage here because there's no point in blocking. I would just lose my Suntail Hawk to one of these creatures and not kill him in the process. So it's actually better in this case to just take the 5 damage. Because at this point in the game, I still have plenty of life. A mistake that a lot of players make is not looking, a lot of new players, I should say, is not thinking of your life total as a resource, which is what it is. It doesn't matter what for my gameplay, it doesn't matter what my life total is, it only matters what my opponent's life total is. So it's imperative that I worry more about his life total than mine. Playing black, I'm going to give up a lot of life for different effects as I play, but that doesn't matter a whole lot. What matters is reducing my player's life total to 20. So sometimes it's best to keep a creature on the table and instead just take some damage. Now that's going to change a little bit in a turn or two, but still at this point.
Alright, so yeah, that's a nifty little creature there, Soldier of the Pantheon.
Doesn't do much against a monocolored deck.
He doesn't, but if you're playing against a multicolored deck where they rely heavily on the gold border cards, this guy could help you a lot.
Yes, he could. Very much so.
So it does make it a pretty good sideboard thing. So once you know what you're up against.
Johnsy, why don't you explain what a sideboard is?
Okay. Basically, a sideboard is 15 additional cards that you can swap out when you go to your second or third match. So like after this game is over, we'll be doing another game. In between that session, though, we'll be able to do what's called sideboarding. And basically, you can swap out any of the cards in your deck for any of the cards that you have in your 15-card sideboard. It's just
right.
Oh, go ahead.
A match typically consists of 3 games, and the winner of the match is whoever wins 2 out of 3 games. So in between games, you're allowed to respond to what you've seen that your opponent is playing and react accordingly by bringing in certain cards. So yeah, this is a card that I wouldn't normally play in my main deck. I would play it in the sideboard, and then if I noticed my opponent was playing lots of multicolored cards, I would bring him in. But since I don't have a sideboard for this deck, because this is a super casual game, I'm just going to leave it be. He is a relatively effective blocker, however, in this case.
Yep, you can do at least some chump blocking, if nothing else. And
right. Buy me an extra turn or 2, maybe.
And, of course, if you're unfamiliar with the concept of chump blocking, that's basically just if there's a big creature that doesn't have trample as one of its mechanics, even if it's dealing 10, 13, 100 damage, a creature with only 1 health or really low health can block it, and it will kill the creature, but then you won't suffer anything to your life total.
Right, exactly. It's the concept of blocking a really huge creature with a really small creature to prevent all the damage from that creature. Anyway.
See, that's so much more concise than what I said. That's excellent.
I try. Alright. So I attacked with the Hawk. Funny damage. He plays silly enchantment. That gets his creatures flying, which is going to make me less than happy.
Maybe. Depends on how you feel about a flying Omen Seeker.
Notice he's holding the Omen Speaker back, but that's because I can block with the Soldier he's not particularly keen to be blocked with that. He'd rather keep him back on defense. So he's going to attack with his 2 creatures that are unblockable to do 4 points of damage. Because he knows that that's all I'm going to allow him to get it anyway.
Pretty much. So it just makes more sense to keep the Omen Seeker back as a blocker. And since I just put Zephyr Charge back, to keep the 2 islands open, so I can give Omen Speaker flying in case he only comes at me with the Hawk, and then I can block him as well.
Right. Look at that. This makes me happy.
Oh, crap. Fiendslayer Paladin.
It's got a first strike, which means that, okay, when damage is dealt, there's actually 2 phases of it. There's first strike damage and then regular damage. If a creature dies during first strike damage, it doesn't get a chance to deal its damage to the creature. So, for instance, my Fiendslayer Paladin could block one of his 2/2s, and he would kill it before it has a chance to
deal damage in return. Yeah.
So my Fiendslayer Paladin would survive. Also, it's got lifelink, which means that whenever it deals damage, I gain that much life, and it's got protection from red and black spells and abilities. I'm sorry, no, red and black spells that my opponents control. So he's immune to most of the removal in the game, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just because I have to, I'm going to sacrifice my Suntail Hawk to the Bubble Cauldron because I need the life. It's kind of important. And then I'm not going to attack. Oh, I totally tapped too much mana in that phase.
Oh well. It happens. To the best of us.
Yeah. I keep thinking that the Cauldron costs 2 mana to use for some reason. Now, in this instance, if I were to attack, it would be silly because the Omen Speaker would block and it would kill my Soldier of the Pantheon. But I wouldn't kill the Omen Speaker, so it doesn't make any sense to attack in this situation. I'm going to stay back as defense.
All right.
Really, in that instance, I should have used Soldier of the Pantheon to the Cauldron rather than the Suntail Hawk. Because the Suntail Hawk was flying, so it was okay to go ahead and attack with it. Because he doesn't have any flyers, nothing could have blocked it.
Mm-hmm.
Except that he could have given him the Speaker flying if he needed to.
But that takes mana, and
right.
So it's not always an option. Now, the primary reason I waited to use the Illusion Armor at this point was just I was waiting for the mana, but it's also a good opportunity because right now Steve's only got 1 mana open, which means the likelihood of him having a counter for that is very, very low.
It's actually 0 in this particular format. There isn't any removal for 1 swamp or 1 black mana in this. Not any counters for 1 black mana in this particular format. So you were safe to do that. It's called information that that you use before you go casting things. And I'm down to 3 life, which is something that makes me incredibly happy, but you know.
You could always sacrifice Soldier of the Pantheon.
I could do that.
Huh. I wonder which creature you're going to exile.
Yeah, it's not a hard choice, honestly.
Yeah.
Alright, we're ready?
Yep, we're back. Sorry about that cut there. The recorder we're using has a file size limit on it, and we hit the limit. So that will happen from time to time. So if it just randomly cuts out for no reason, understand that that's what happened. Also, on a semi-related note, if you guys know of a good recording software that you can use to record a like a screen capture thing that will pick up the transparent windows that Magic the Gathering Online uses, and can also pick up sound from a microphone and from speakers at the same time, that would be excellent.
Yeah, it would be pretty awesome. So, anyway. Alright, so again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to attack in this instance, because I need the life, so I'm going to undo one of those things because I didn't need to tap all that mana. Tap this, get rid of soldier.
Fine.
And fortunately this time, barring him playing anything, I've got blockers to take care of his creatures and stuff. Merfolk Spy.
Yep.
Island Walk.
Get ready.
Good thing I don't have any islands. Yet. Alright. Do your worst.
I think I'd rather do my best, but...
Alright, notice he's only talking with the one creature because it's unblockable.
Yeah, you really don't want to use an unblockable creature as a blocker unless you really desperately need it.
Right. As in, you got less than 19 life. Oh, this makes me happy. 100-handed one.
Excellent.
Oh, and he cancels it. That makes me unhappy.
Yep.
That would be a control element, by the way. If he decides that he doesn't want me to have something, I don't get to have it.
And that's why you want to watch how much mana your opponent has open compared to the number of cards in their hand.
Right.
If they have a lot of cards and they have a lot of mana, there's a good chance that they've got a counter and they're getting ready to use it.
It's always a good idea to keep track of that kind of information for that very reason. Now, as much as I'd like to sack a creature, I really don't have anything that I can sack at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know Chauncey, he's only going to attack with a 2/2 anyway, so I can survive this turn and I'll be okay. But I am in a kind of desperate situation here. I can decide whether or not to sack a creature on my next turn depending on what I draw. Oh, another illusionary armor. Alright. When you're playing blue, you've got to be careful about the counters. Blue decks tend to run a lot of that kind of nonsense.
Yep. Lots
and
of
I say
them.
nonsense because I don't play blue, and it makes me angry. Alright, so yeah, now he's coming at me for 6 points because of the illusionary armor, and that is game. Because it's unblockable, I can't do anything about it. I can sack a creature to stay alive, but that may not do me a whole lot of good.
No, that'll get you a turn. That's good.
It will get me a turn. It gets me one more draw, but if I don't pull a pretty good answer, I'm out of luck.
Now, one thing he could do, and this is because of the illusionary armor's stuff, anytime it becomes the target of a spell or ability, it actually gets sacrificed. Anytime that creature that's attached to is the target of a spell or ability, it gets sacrificed. So, if you were to target the Phantom Warrior with any creature, ability, or spell, or anything, even if it's a positive thing, it would get rid of illusionary armor.
So, I've been known to throw blessings on creatures that he puts illusionary armor on to get rid of the illusionary armor.
Yes, he has done that.
Because blessing doesn't give it any static boost, it only gives you a boost if you feed mana to it. So,
and you'd have to have a certain color mana, and so, you know.
Right. In this case, I've drawn a Divine Favor. So I can cast it on the illusion. I'm just going to demonstrate this. It's not actually going to make any difference.
Mm-hmm.
But the Divine Favor gives it +1/+3, which makes it a more resilient creature, but it's going to do less damage to me. Unfortunately, it's still going to be fatal damage. And so, in this case, even if I sacrifice my Banishing Priest to the Bubbling Cauldron, he'll get his other unblockable creature back. And so he'll still be able to do 5 points of, well, that's what I'm going to have to do to buy myself another turn.
Yep.
Because at least it gives it summoning sickness.
That's true.
But what Chance is going to do now, because I'm a blocker, is he's going to swing with the team or attack with everything, is what that means. And that should do me in 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it won't quite do me in unless he.
Unless I do something fancy here.
So. Yeah, I bought myself one more turn, which is sometimes what you have to do. It's not likely that I'm going to draw something that is going to turn this game around, but I might. So. Something like a Sarah Angel would be nice in this case. And Thessa's Emissary. Cast for the bestow cost is going to
give me a 3/3.
So I'm going to go ahead and concede this game.
Okay.
So we can
save our time.
Yep. Move on to the next game of the match. And begin sideboarding.
And this is sideboarding, and if I had a sideboard, I might do some of that, but just submit and start.
Now, because I lost, I get to choose if I'm going to play first or not. And I'm going to play first. There's typically an advantage to doing that. And I am mulliganing this no land hand. That is not much better, but okay. I'm going to keep. Swamp.
Okay.
Festering Newt.
Oh no.
I've gotten into some shenanigans with the Festering Newt, so, yeah.
Didn't you beat me with a Festering Newt at one point?
I beat you, yes. I had 125 life, and the only way I was going to end the game was Festering Newt you, so yes.
Yeah, I had 3 life left, and I was just tenaciously hanging on. And,
it was pretty miserable.
So he Boiling Cauldrons his Festering Newt, which hits me for 4 damage and gives him 4 life.
Yep. And it killed him.
It did.
Killed him. Alright.
But remember, guys, I hung on for an hour.
It's true. It was the most ridiculous game of Magic ever played. I've never seen something so grindy or ridiculous. I kind of wish that we had it recorded properly so we could put it on for you guys to view, because it was, in all of its glory, the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I'm on a plains right now, and I didn't get one. Alright, Festering Newt for 1 point of damage. You have been bit by a salamander.
I would block with my island, but it refused.
It said,
Can't block with an island, that's ridiculous.
That's absurd. Oh, yet another card that does me no good.
Well, it's good, because I'm getting a lot of those, so...
Well, it's alright.
At least you're dealing damage here.
Yeah, 20 turn clock going on here. Bam, down to 18. Alright. I feel like we need more comedy in this video.
I don't know. I think being bitten to death over and over by a Festering Newt's pretty comical.
That's actually pretty funny. It is.
Staff of the Mind Magus.
Mind Magus. This card is not normally good, but in casual it's okay. I mean, if we were playing in any kind of a competitive format, he wouldn't be running that card.
No, I definitely... Well...
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't. It doesn't give you enough return.
Honestly, a card that only gives you life gain is not worth running, for the most part.
Like, if it was 2 or 3 health every time you did that...
Even then, it's not good.
Well...
Remember, your health total is not the issue, it's your opponent's health total. So, unless you've got a way to turn that life into card advantage, or into damage to your opponent, it's not worth it.
Oy vey.
It's not favorite card. Makes him discard something that is not a land or a creature.
More irritatingly, he gets to see my hand. So
right, which is also important.
When you're
saving... got C-lock nonsense going on.
Yeah, when you're saving up all these fun things for him later, it's like him forcing you to tell him about his surprise birthday party. It's just not any fun.
It's fun for me. Alright, another point of damage. You're down to 17, my friend.
Don't worry, I'll get it back.
I'm pretty sure this is turning into the grindiest game of Magic ever. Again.
No, this is...
Because I'm missing all of my land drops here.
Absolutely furthest from grindiest.
Now, keep in mind, guys, that the game's not over until it's over, because I have, in the past, come back from 3 life, in fact, just last night, from something like 3 or 5 life, I don't remember what it was exactly, and with 125 life, so weirder things have happened. Weirder things have happened with the deck that I am playing right now.
Yes.
Alright, look at that. That helps me a little bit.
What, the giant water creature in your way?
No, not the giant. The fact that I got it.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah.
2 lanes is always kind of, especially like 5 turns into the game.
Yeah.
I didn't attack. I didn't want to attack.
Well, I would have just blocked anyway.
And killed it.
Yeah.
And I don't. Now it's Chauncey's turn to start doing problems.
Alright. Now how
Chauncey, who's not missed a land drop, has a huge advantage over me because I just don't have the access to the mana to play the... I don't have the resources to play the cards in my hand. I've got some great cards in my hand, but I can't play them because I've not gotten the land. People have argued that land is the most powerful card in the game, honestly, because it enables everything else. So this is quickly getting out of hand for me because I miss land drops. Lots of land drops.
Yeah, I can suck up a point of damage later.
Notice he keeps back a blocker. Well,
He's got summoning sickness, but I still would have kept back 1 blocker, regardless. Oh, man.
Trust me, Chauncey, it's really not going to do a whole lot of good. I mean, there's the Festering New, but still.
I don't know, man. That combination can be a game winner, apparently.
Right, but only when I've got 120 left. Which doesn't happen very often, honestly. And since you're doing 7 points of damage this next turn, theoretically speaking. Oh, Phantom Warrior.
Yep.
Just what I didn't want to see.
For the record, I'm a big fan of the Phantom Warrior. Pretty much anything that is unblockable is awesome.
It's true.
And I was deciding what to do for this attack.
Shouldn't be too hard to figure out, honestly.
No, it really shouldn't. Pretty much that's what I want to do there.
That's it. I mean, you could pump the other guy if you needed to, but it's not that desperate of a situation yet.
No, we're just trying to...
And he wants defense, so...
Mm-hmm. I want to maintain my life total and bring him down. So... Yep, anytime we can do that, that's a bonus.
Yep.
Yep.
No, so I get to give something -1, -1 in this case until end of turn.
Correct. May I recommend Soldier of the Pantheon?
Why would I do that? That makes no sense.
It makes sense to me.
By the way, that's an ability triggered because the Festering New got fly.
Yep. Alright, and so now my life total got hit for 4, and his went up for 4.
Yep.
Plus, he got to give my Phantom Warrior a -1/-1, so he's still unblockable, but it's only 1 point of damage.
Well, it's not going to matter, because at the end of your turn, he goes back.
Right.
I just did it because it's something he does. It's not like I'm attacking in the situation.
Right.
Because you block with the Savient anyway, or the Servant anyway.
Absolutely, yes. That I would.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
What? What's good? I highly doubt that this is good. Yeah, that's not good. What is the opposite of good?
Alright, and so basically, this guy's not super strong, but his ability lets me pull a instant or sorcery from my graveyard. So I can get back my Essence Scatter, which was callously forced into the graveyard by my opponent earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay. And so now we'll swing with these guys. And what the heck?
Yeah, because I'm not blocking any of it. Notice that I only chump block if I need to buy a turn for myself. I'm not too worried about blocking if I can survive the turn. Because I need this creature. I need him to be on the table.
Yeah, and we went ahead and pumped the Water Servant just for fun there. Another Soldier of the Pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Indeed.
well. Very well. Does that mean one of these guys is getting the axe soon?
I don't know what that means, Chauncey. Just because I'm talking to an audience here doesn't mean that I'm going to show you everything that I'm planning.
Well, I suppose that's fair enough. I have my suspicions that one of these Soldiers of the Pantheon is going to end up in a bubbling cauldron here shortly.
That might be a good assumption, except that it's your turn now. So.
It is, yes. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Alrighty. And
now this is going to require me to do some math in my head, so
yeah,
everybody bear with me.
Basically what's going on here is we have... I just pumped my Phantom Warrior, so he's going to take 6 damage no matter what, because Phantom Warrior is unblockable.
Right.
And we're also going to swing with the Air Servant, who's going to do 4 additional damage.
And effectively unblockable.
And effectively unblockable because he's flying, and he's not fielding any flying creatures at the moment. Now the trick is basically getting some extra damage through, which is why we're going to swing with everything, because the only way he's going to survive the first 2 is to sacrifice one of his guys with the Bubbling Cauldron. But I'm pretty sure that swinging with everything means he won't be able to block one of them, and that 1 point of extra damage is going to knock him out.
That's not necessarily true, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Are you going to sacrifice both?
No. Because I don't have the mana... Well, yeah, I do have the mana to do that. will sacrifice a creature.
Oh, but you won't be able to untap that.
Right. And then, let's see here. I'm going to chump block. Okay, so I get another point. You got to okay.
Yeah, even if you chump block the Water Servant, I'm still hitting with 11 damage.
That's right. You're right. So this is game. So let me concede, and we'll call this all good.
Okay.
And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That's how a Magic is played, and apparently lost on my end. I had horrible draws both hands, but that's part of the game.
Yep, it happens.
If you're going to sit here and complain about bad draws, you need to not play Magic. You need to not play card games, because it's just part of the game.
Who shuffled that? What is this computer thinking?
Right. I mean, come on now. Could have given me a better draw. But, so we're going to call this a night. As far as recording goes, me and Chauncey are probably going to play some more, but it's been great playing with you, Chauncey, and we'll look forward to the next match, man.
Absolutely. And of course, guys, remember, if you liked this video, you want to see more of it, you want to support us, definitely go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment, and if you're not subscribed yet, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more great content like this.
Absolutely. So we'll be discussing more Magic theory and strategy in the future. God bless you all. Good night.
And I'll talk at you later, guys.